Problem this season. I know Blake Samuels is out today. He's a huge leader on your offense. Who do you need to step up in his absence, and how do you get the offense going without him?
I think it's hard to replace Blake. He's been a consistent scorer for us for a couple years now. But the big thing for us is just to play team offense. We really can't rely on one guy. We need our middies to do a little bit more than they have been in creating offense for us. And then we just need the attack to finish. We've had opportunities and just haven't really cashed in on them. So hopefully we do a better job of that today.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Back to you, Chris.
Have it. There's Margot with Coach Allen talking about kind of who he's been missing and some of the players that have really caused some trouble. I mean, you've got a team where you had a couple of guys last season who were real vocal and offensive leaders, and Aaron Buca and Johnny Morgan, guys that just kind of made things happen. And he mentioned that the offense was a problem for them, and I mean that certainly seems to be the case.
Yeah, they're not scoring a lot of goals this year, but like Mike said, they've been in a lot of close games, and these guys can get off to a quick start. It's probably going to give them some confidence, and hopefully win one of these close ones.
All right, now we're going to send it back out to the Under Armour sideline reporter Margot McCauley with Coach Gavosdin.
Capitalize on that today.
I don't know that what we're looking to do today is anything, honestly, to do with them. I think we're trying to commit to a game plan for the whole game. We know what they like to do. We know how they play. They play a basketball style lacrosse, but truly LMU is hit or miss. If we
Well, I mean, I think he's I mean, that's to get both these teams, young teams, going out there, and you're never sure exactly who's going to show up, but that's an opportunity for guys to show up, and I think that's what both these coaches are looking for.
Yeah, no question. I mean, every time you step on the field, you're looking for guys to make plays, and who knows? There might be a new leader today that comes to the occasion and rises up, and freshman, sophomore. I mean, look, you're playing college lacrosse. It really doesn't matter what grade you're in. It's not like a high school where there's a huge gap between a freshman and a senior. In college, there's obviously a difference, but the gap's not as big. And so, you'd like to think these guys are halfway through their season. So freshman, sophomore, doesn't really matter. Just show up, make some plays.
Yeah, and this is actually a game, despite the losing records for both squads, that has huge implications in terms of the SLC tournament.
Yeah, no question. I mean, these guys are both getting their SLC kind of schedule going, and they're both still alive. And, I'm sure you can kind of see watching these guys warm up that both teams are ready to go.
Yeah, you got Santa Barbara with a 1-1 record in the division currently, as they beat USC and lost UCLA, and LMU currently 0-1 in the division with a loss to UNLV. UNLV kind of a resurgent or kind of a newer team that's been getting something going.
They're always hanging around. I mean, yeah. Their UNLV was in the semis last year, played Chapman extremely close.
Beat Grand Canyon.
Yeah, beat Grand Canyon in the first round of the SLC tournament. So, not really surprised to see those guys, being 3-0 right now.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think that it seemed like there'd been like a little bit of a mentality shift. I know, Matt Sathram transferred there from Chapman last season, and they seem to have a little bit more edge after that. Sathram having a lot of success as a starter at Chapman.
It's amazing how one player can make a big difference. That's the case today. If one or two guys that can really elevate their games can just give everybody on the team a lot of confidence. And the confidence is just, you can't put a price tag on confidence. Once you get that and you have it, it's hard to stop.
And then both these teams having a little bit of trouble getting that ground ball going as Griffin Lydon picks it up and sends it down the field. Now Phil Hughes, the captain, former pitcher for the Yankees, trying his hand at lacrosse.
I thought that was a great look by the defender, a cross-field pass. He's got his head up. He's looking. He's trying to, seeing the field. Finds 13 wide open there on his left side.
Yeah, and it was a great ground ball as well. We see this is a tough field. It's a field that
a little choppy.
You coached on, that I played on.
Yep.
And it's also really windy up here, up the top of this. Nice behind the back.
Yeah, I like seeing that.
By
that's aggressive.
Negri. Yeah, improved his angle. Looked
no question about it.
I mean, that's what we talked about. You need somebody to go out there and make a play, and Negri was trying to do that.
Yep.
There's Ejek, nice look inside. There's the shot. That one just off the mark, but a solid look inside.
Great look. I love LMU's offense right now. They are not being shy. You know, they're going right at Santa Barbara. They're coming out aggressive, and they're going to say, hey, you guys are going to have to stop us. And there you go. You know, 14 with another aggressive dodge. That's for
Dustin Marinelli, the junior.
Yeah, Marinelli. That's a great roll dodge into a nice little low-to-low shot. I mean, that's their third shot in about, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So they are coming out gunning. And, you know, we'll see how long they can keep this up. Their bench is at the deepest. You know, there looks like there's about 7 or 8 guys over on that sideline. So, you know, if they're going to play at this pace for 60 minutes, it's probably going to look pretty good for them. But we'll see what happens over the course of the game.
Yeah, and LMU, a team, you just tell by the amount of goals they've scored this season, put up 18 against in a loss against San Diego State. So, I mean, they're a team that's not afraid to shoot and try and run it up. I mean, they've got kind of a run-and-gun offensive style, just unable to get the defense working in their favor. It's another face-off win for LMU. Basili brings it in. Back over to Ejek.
That was a great pop by Basili, right to his wingman. That's obviously something they've worked on. You could kind of tell that the chemistry that they had with that that kind of flip pass to him.
Yeah, and he's having a pretty successful year at the Faceoff X, winning just a little bit over 60% of his faceoffs so far this season.
Any coach would take that. 60% at the X. That's a great place to be.
Yeah, and then contributing offensively as well, just under 3 points a game. So I mean, that's the kind of player every coach wants on their team.
Oh, there's a look right into him right there. LMU is just going.
Yeah, and then there's Swerdlow getting the start. So we could see 2 or 3 freshman goalies for Santa Barbara today.
Yeah, everybody's getting an opportunity out there.
There's Logan Davis.
And that's Coach Allen. Just giving everybody an opportunity. Nobody's consistently playing the way that he would want them to, so he's giving guys an opportunity to go out there and showcase their stuff and prove to the coaching staff that they're the guy. I have a feeling, on the Santa Barbara side, they're probably going to slow it down a little bit. I could be wrong, but history tells me they're going to take their time. Here's a nice dodge. Ferguson down the side. Good look.
There's another ball into the neighborhood.
Yeah, they're going to make sure they got balls in those end lines because not a big backstop back there.
And Tilbury coming in up top.
Tilbury, he's a guy that's just got to play aggressive all day. I mean, talking about leaders, with Samuel being out, Tilbury's a guy that's got to just keep elevating his game and step up. He's got a short stick right now. You like to think that he's going to take advantage of this, and here he goes.
Runs right by his man. Great save.
Great save.
It's Nemo.
Good hustle over there on the ground ball.
But that one's going to be a push going against the Gauchos. LMU brings it in.
Both teams being aggressive early on here.
And we've got
good lacrosse right now.
Almost 4 minutes gone in this first quarter. 1-0 lead for LMU. And there's a nice ride.
It's a great ride by Halsworth. It's a great ride. Every young guy out there, man, you play attack, you got to ride.
Yeah, and you see that real heads-up play. Once he gets the ground ball, loses his glove, goes up. Gets the ref to call time. I mean, anytime there's a glove that's gone or a helmet gets unbuttoned, the ref has to stop play. So once you've got the ball on your stick, it's
I mean, that's a heads-up play. I mean, maybe that happened earlier in the season. He learned from it. For a young guy to be able to know the game that well, that's just little things, little things, man. And there's a million little things over the course of a game. Every time you step on the field. Tilbury again, just extremely aggressive, loving the short stick matchup.
Yeah, interesting that they're continuing to give him that matchup with the short stick. I mean, the senior graduate student captain has to be one of their better players on offense. And what might be happening is Jack Houseworth, who we just talked about, who's been running through the midfield and on the attack. There's a great check. The one who just lost his glove has been a real talent for them as well this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think LMU might kind of just get a guy and we'll go from there type deal. That's a great rip by 45.
It's Negri again.
Negri again. That's his second shot of the day. takes a nice sidearm shot over to the goalie's, off shoulder. It was a tough one to save there, but he was ready to shoot right away. Man, I love what I'm seeing right now at LMU.
Well, it's a great skip pass all the way across the crease. Had just enough height on it to clear the defenseman on the inside and give Negri a chance to take that shot.
Yeah,
but,
I think that was Hughes with the feed. Coach Jaffe, welcome to the game.
See another face-off win for LMU. LMU's going to be able to bring it into the box. And again, quick check. Nice man ball work by the Gauchos.
That's Herning. I mean, he's been around here for a while. I think he's a junior. He's played a lot of minutes here at Santa Barbara, so I'm not surprised to see him being aggressive out there.
And there's Kuntaroju, Jane. And
Great job.
Going to be a
timeout.
timeout.
That name. Good timeout. I was getting a little sloppy there. I think Coach Gavazin wants to settle things down. But I think what we're seeing out of both teams is pretty strong. I mean, both teams are being aggressive. Both goalies better be ready to go.
Well, and that's the team. You get such a young team out of Santa Barbara, especially, and had the opportunity to see them play earlier this season against Grand Canyon. And even between then and now, it's only been 2 weeks, but their execution is considerably better. But we're going to send it back down to our Under Armour sideline reporter, Margaret McCauley.
All right, guys, listening in right there, you can hear them a little bit behind me. The LMU huddle, you think the coach would be happy with going up 2-0 early, but he is not satisfied. He said, guys, we've been up 2-0 plenty of times before, and the other team has fought their way back into this game. We do not let this happen today. Back to you, Chris.
There you have it, Coach. I mean, back into it.
Look, I mean, he uses a timeout, pretty early, but if he wants to make sure that message is loud and clear, sounds like that's probably what he's been talking about all week is playing for a full 60 minutes. He said that with Margot, before the game started about, start to finish and how they're worried about LMU. And so he just seems to be kind of reiterating that message and just making sure that that's clear. Like, hey, guys, we're up 2-0, but, it's probably 0-0 right now. We got to keep going.
You're going to bring it back in, and you mentioned we haven't seen really any change in the LMU offense at all. It's been the same 6 guys out there, and you have to think that when this game goes on at the pace that they're wanting to play at, that some of these guys might start to get gassed.
Yeah, but on the other side, these guys might be in great shape. I mean, we don't know the shape that they're in. I mean, look, the roster's less than around 20 guys, so. You like to think, when these guys are practicing every day, they're getting a lot of touches, a lot of reps, which allows them to get in great shape. So we'll see. Like you said, we'll see how long they can go for.
It's a nice spin. And, again, solid defense from the Gauchos.
Yep.
Seen a lot of good poke checks and wrap checks, able to knock the ball out. He's got some space, moves it off the end of the stick, and there's going to be a flag down, late flag. Let's see what that's going to be on as the Gauchos are able to save that one. There's Houseworth turning around the corner, 15 goals on the season coming in. 20 points total.
This is where a team's got to take advantage of the flag down. Don't just take a shot to take a shot. Set your offense up. Make sure you get a quality shot off here. There's no rush. There's not a shot clock out here. You don't have the timer on. You get your subs in, and be patient.
Yes, an opportunity where one of the recent rule changes over the last couple of seasons is the defense has to get full possession or the ball has to go out of bounds or back onto the defensive side of the field. For the Gauchos in this case,
right.
For the play to be called dead.
That's just a great rule. I just felt like the defense kind of gained an advantage. It's almost like they have another guy or two out there when the ball hits the ground, just blowing the whistle. This way, the team's got to get possession, or the other team's got to throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah. I mean, it forces the defense to really dig in and puts a lot of pressure on them. Certainly more than the offense. It's similar to like an offsides call in football when you get basically a free play.
Right.
And some of these plays too, you get a penalty that's not going to get waved off. It's a chance for 2-goal swing.
No question. Yep. Go man up on the face-off.
This is our first opportunity for either team for man up opportunity. Tilbury takes a shot right off the defenseman. That feels terrible. Tilbury again takes a shot. That one on the outside of the goal.
I like his aggressiveness, though. I mean, he's got to stick to the inside there, inside of the field. It's a good angle. I think he probably should have been thinking about maybe going offside hip or offside high. But I like the overhand shot, and I like his aggressiveness. And here he is being aggressive on the ride.
Yeah, across the board, we've seen very good effort on the ride from Santa Barbara.
It's all even. It's a 6-on-6 clear essentially, and that's a great man ball right there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Halsworth with another ground ball off the ride. It's the second one of the day.
And we have that one. That one's right in front of us, right in front of the subway skybox over here that we're calling from. And you can hear them calling man ball. It's Tilbury.
Yeah.
Tilbury comes in, clears out the man. And it's a great fundamental lacrosse play.
A lot of shots right now. Love it. This is the kind of the pace that you love to see.
Houseworth again with it up top. LMU playing way out on defense, especially at the top, outside of the restraining box.
A little invert behind with Wu. Head up, finds his man. Great shot. Nice low to high shot.
And that's Andrew Ferguson, the sophomore, with his third goal of the season. And an opportunity for these guys that haven't had many opportunities to score goals to get on the board.
We've been seeing it so far. We're about 9 minutes into the game here, and a lot of shots. I just said it a few seconds ago, and I think we're going to continue to see shots. That looked like it was kind of a setup play. Ferguson pops off the crease, and Wu's got his head up with a nice dodge and finds him. And low to high. I'm one of these guys. If you can score low to high, do it. If you have the confidence and you're accurate with it, go ahead and do it. And Ferguson, I believe it was right. Ferguson on the goal there. It kind of looked like he's been there before. He's had that shot before, and he buried it.
Yeah, that's you see just the execution and the fundamentals. That's the kind of the staple on Mike Allen coach team.
Herning, here you go. He's got another. Oh, he's gonna want that one back. But once again, he is just between the restraining lines. He is all over the field right now. I think it's his second or third ground ball of the day.
Well, he gets inside of 10 yards and nobody'd come to him. He gets the ball into his left hand, probably not as comfortable as he'd like to be. But there was the jump hand or the jump shot.
Yeah, could have kept that in his strong hand. I think it probably surprised him a little bit that nobody slid to him. And that's why you can't go into that situation thinking you're going to pass it off.
At the 5:40 mark here in the first quarter, got a 1-goal game. It's Wu turning the corner again. Has that shorty. And Houseworth looks like he could have gotten by his man there. Opts to pull it back out.
But it's all right. You don't have something, don't need to force the issue. Looks like the second midfield line for Santa Barbara. Looks like they're going to get into a different offensive set here. Dodge from the wing area against the short stick.
And they have Wu pushed up top, and he's getting that shorty matchup. Attackman by trade. That's a big check right in the gut. Disrupts the shot, but it's going to be another possession shot.
Looks like LMU's pressing out here on the defensive end of the field, trying to be aggressive. Almost played to their advantage there. Still aggressive, like Chris, you mentioned. They're pressed out, and that's what happens when you press out. Houseworth with a great take. Look, if a defensive is going to get after you and play you on the end line, you got to run by them, and Houseworth just did that.
Yeah, and Houseworth, another one of those guys who can create offensively. You give him an opportunity where there's not a slide coming, recognizes the crease defender has his back turned, and able to get above GLE and just goes high to high and tight. Not a whole lot of opportunity for Nemo on that one.
No, that's a tough one on the goalie, but I'm definitely impressed with Houseworth this afternoon here. Couple ground balls, being patient, kind of waiting for the right time, and for a young guy. He's not playing like a freshman.
And there's another face-off win for LMU.
It's been a while since LMU's had the ball down here. We'll see kind of if they take the air out of it or if they, they stay as aggressive as they've been since the game started here. Hughes is working his guy right now, getting a feel, head up, looking for something.
That one right around the corner for Ejak as he takes the sweep, but unable to get that one on the frame. Solid help defense from the Gauchos.
Yeah, Ejak's one of their top. I think he's their top midfielder in points. So we're gonna see a lot out of him today. I thought that was a great take. Nothing wrong with missing a shot. You know, obviously you want to put him on cage, but you don't want to put it right in the goalie stick either. You know, so you either hit your spot or you're just off and you get the ball back.
Swardlow, a little short arm that one a little bit. Thought maybe he could have taken the opportunity to find Warheit down low.
You could also look at 31 for Santa Barbara. Looks like it's Becker. He could have probably come back to the ball a little bit there to make the pass a little bit shorter.
And that's a heads-up play by Negri. Just lowers his head, runs right through the attackman, gets the attackman to get in offsides position as they take the shot, and they're going to get a look at the man-down unit for LMU.
Yeah, that's Marinelli again with a low-to-low shot. He scored one earlier in the game. I think it was the first goal for LMU today. That's obviously his go-to because he's taken 2 shots and they've both been the same. So, hopefully Swardlow kind of gets a read on that and knows that, that's kind of what he wants to do, and that's part of the job. Being a goalie is getting educated on the shooters.
That one's just going to stay on the offensive half, which would have been a turnover. Had it cross the midline. There's a fake. Has some room. Nice skip pass. That one across, and what a save by Swardlow. That one picked up and dropped right down into the crease. Heads up play. Has Herning. Loses his footing. Still able to get that pass off. Impressive body control by the freshman.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier this field's a little choppy, so we don't know what it's like in that crease there. Obviously, this is not the first game of the season, so it's probably got some wear and tear. I thought just a great save, matching stick on stick down there on the save for Swardlow. That should hopefully, that should give him some great confidence.
Now Ejak with 1 to beat. Turns the corner, takes the shot. Another big save by Swardlow, who's kind of looks like he's cemented himself in that starting role. Last time we saw the Gauchos in the SLC Game of the Week at the Coaches versus Cancer tournament, 3 freshman goalies taking the field for the Gauchos. And that's a nice ground ball going back the other direction as DeWolf takes it, then loses it again after a hard ride by the Gauchos.
Yeah, Gauchos just got to calm down a little bit in the clearing game. Probably a couple too many turnovers that Coach Allen would want to see. But Swardlow, 2 great saves back-to-back, both at his feet. We'll see if LMU continues to shoot down low or if they try to bring one up high.
And that's one again with the sticks up.
Herning's he's just fundamentally sound. He's got a great IQ. He could easily read, 17 Basili. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I don't know if I did, but he was reading his eyes there and got a stick right up in the pass lane and knocked it down. And on the man up, he actually got a stick on the pass that ended up down on the bottom pipe, but ball didn't really deflect too much, but it was a little bit. So he's active. If you're an LMU and you got Herning on you, you better pay attention to what he's doing.
Yeah, and we're going to send it back out to Under Armour sideline reporter Margot McCauley.
Listening in right there to the Santa Barbara huddle, the coach is happy that they did get back in this game, but he is not satisfied with how his offense is performing since they scored those 2 goals. Guys, he's definitely on them right now. He's telling them where to go, where to look, and to keep the ball offensively and not give it up. He said that's really hurting them here, and let's see how they finish out this quarter. Back to you, Chris.
Thanks, Margot. It's more Mike Allen talking. It's kind of what you touched on in the clearing game, where they haven't been able to get the ball across back to their offense. When they've been on the offensive side, they've had pretty good success, long possessions, forcing LMU to play defense. But I think the clearing has been a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, they're getting good looks. I know Coach Allen. He wants his guys. When he says to run an offense, he wants to see that offense. He wants his guys to be disciplined, and he wants them to run what he's asking them to run. And I have a feeling that's kind of what he was mentioning to them in the huddle there.
LMU going to bring this ball in after the timeout. So Marinelli's going to send it down low.
This is a great matchup. Herning versus Hughes. Not surprised to see Herning down low on Hughes because Hughes got great vision, great stick.
Hughes, a player with 24 points coming into today, tied for the lead in points. So that look up top again, but another Santa Barbara stick gets in that passing lane.
Yeah, that's Harrison there. Just once again, reading the feeder's eyes, anticipating where that ball's going to go.
And learning from your mistakes. Is that was a pass that cost him the goal earlier in the game.
Right. I think it was our boy 45
Negri
who stuck that one earlier.
And it looks like Santa Barbara's dropped into a little bit of a zone look. Have trust. There's Negri from outside. And that one off the mark, but no shortage of confidence in that shot.
I don't think anyone lacks confidence on the LMU side. These guys get, they go. There's not a shot out there they don't like.
And this game, nice. Swardlow gets blown up by his own guy there, and
wow.
What a finish inside! And that's just Phil Hughes picking up the trash and taking it to its home.
Well, I mean, look, he's got great hands. For a guy to be able to do that, you have to have good hands, and that ball's on the ground. Anytime that thing's around the the front of the cage, you got to take the body, and you can't let guys kind of get a crack at the ball. And once he goes high,
yeah.
Swardlow, I don't know if he meant to go high, but he went high, and it gets by Swardlow, and
he basically took a golf swing. Looked like he had his wedge out there just straight off the ground into the top corner. Really good look, and that's a big goal in terms of momentum right at the end of the first quarter.
And he was the one who actually turned the ball over. So he probably had, he was the one who turned it over. He's saying, "Hey, I gotta get this ball back," and he's like, "Hey, might as well take a shot and see what happens." And there's a goal at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, you see with just 10 seconds to go on that last goal, pushes the lead to 1 at 3-2. So definitely an important goal for LMU, but certainly have a good one so far.
Yeah, this is a great game, back and forth. I'm sure both teams would probably like to clean it up a tad, but this is going to be a competitive game. This is exactly what we thought we were going to see. Yeah,
and I have to say that I'm pretty impressed with the level for both of these teams. I mean, you come in looking at this in terms of like solely coming in at 3-5, Santa Barbara coming in at 1-8, and both these teams have storied history where they've made MCLA tournament. Santa Barbara won back-to-back championships in the early 2000s, and it's exciting to see these teams come out and play.
Well, Santa Barbara played ASU extremely close earlier on in the season.
Yeah, we're going to send it back out to Under Armour sideline reporter Margo McCauley.
All right, guys, listening into the LMU huddle, the coach is so thrilled that they got on the board again there right at the last few seconds of that quarter. Now going forward, he was talking to his defense mostly, saying that they've got to watch out for the umbrella shooters on the Santa Barbara side. He said they're causing them a lot of problems because they're moving all over the field, and that's really what they need to start to shut down in the second quarter and going through the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, Margo. It's always nice to get the insights from the coaches.
Yeah, it's great. It's great hearing what the coaches have to say. I mean, we're thinking about it over here. What are they saying to the guys? So it's good to actually know what they're saying. I think anytime you score at the end of a quarter, it just gives you a tremendous amount of momentum. We always said, when I was coaching at Arizona State, we always talked about winning the last 2 minutes of every quarter. You win those last 2 minutes, it's just a huge boost going into the next quarter.
Yeah, and a little added incentive in this game here is the stats that we have only go back to 2006, and I know that the Gaucho team during those years, previous to those years, were teams who were winning national championships, but it has been at least 9 years since LMU has gotten a win against Santa Barbara. They've lost the last 9 in a row. And have really been struggling. So this is a pride game as well as a game that's important for playoff implications in the SLC North.
No question. And LMU's got to feel good about themselves. I mean, both teams got to feel good about themselves right now. This is anybody's game.
Yeah, I think execution-wise, it's a couple of missed ground balls, a couple of missed shots, failed clears away from getting some real momentum going.
Second quarter should probably be a little cleaner than the first quarter. LMU with another face-off win. I don't know the stats of the face-off, but it seems to me like they've won the majority of them.
It's been one going the Gauchos' way, the first faceoff of the game, but since then, LMU really settling in at the faceoff X.
And I mean, you know, they're up 1. You know, you're winning the majority of the faceoffs and you're up 1. So, you know, usually when you win the majority of the faceoffs, you're winning the ground ball battle, and then you're going to win the game.
Yeah, and I think you know, it's the Gauchos been doing a good job defensively, able to get some takeaways and then settle in on offense because they have been having so much trouble. It's important for them to settle in on offense when they have the opportunities.
Sure. They're being aggressive here, but they're not. They're being a little bit more patient than they were in the first quarter. That's a great look.
Swordlow saw it the whole way.
Yeah, Ejak going high on that shot. I think you probably need to get a little bit more on it, but you know, maybe Coach Gavazin's letting these guys know, hey, goalie's doing well low. Let's go upstairs and see what happens.
Really nice clear for Santa Barbara. And there's a shot. There's a big save by Nemo. That one looked like it might hit him in the shin. Dangerously close to a ward. And looks like that's what they're going to call. As you see, Ejak use that offhand to push through on the swim. Can't do that.
And that could be a fatigue thing. He runs off the field after that call. He could have been a little tired there.
Tilbury takes the hit and gives Houseworth the opportunity to get the shot inside. And I mean, that's a real heads-up play for the grad student.
Yeah, Houseworth is making himself known out here. I would love to see an overhand shot there. But he'll get some more opportunities here.
Yeah, I mean, the freshman's firmly planting himself as a big part of this offense. Nice shot.
That's a great split dodge. Great split dodge by
Ferguson, second goal on the day.
Yeah, second goal for him, and just a nice high to low shot to the offside. I mean, there aren't many boys that are going to come up with that save. Looked smooth, just had a lot of confidence with that dodge. I have a feeling we're going to see some more of him. Second one, right? Second one of the game.
Second one of the day. Only his 4th on the season.
Surprising.
But playing with a
looks like he's done that before.
Yeah, a lot of confidence. He cut really hard on that split, and defender had no shot.
Maybe, I don't know if he's been hurt early in the year, but we know Coach Allen said they've talked about injuries. Maybe he's a guy that just hasn't played in, you know, all the games to this point.
Yeah, I know. No fewer than 7 inactives due to injury today for Santa Barbara. It's like Gauchos have the clamp, but can't get it going. That one kicked forward. You know, you think if you're Coach Gavaston, you want to see 2 hands on that ground ball.
Heads up.
And that one's coming right for us. As SLC.
Great ride again by Santa Barbara. By LMU.
And a lot of aggressive play from both these teams.
I actually, you know, going back to that one-handed ground ball, I actually don't mind that one-handed ground ball. You just got to practice it. You know, I mean, it allows him to continue to go full speed. He's just got to practice it so he can pick it up and push that fast break.
And nice look inside. There's he takes a shot, and Swordlow again. It's a brick wall in the cage.
That's a great look by Negri. Dodging with his head up.
And again, definitely take the opportunity. Send us your tweets, questions, comments. Another shot from LMU. Love to hear from you at CMarshallLN. And, you know, love to hear where you're watching from, who you're watching, your predictions in the game so far, and basically anything you want to know. Today, a big day for lacrosse in Southern California. A nice double by the Gauchos.
But that's Negri getting away from the double team with 2 poles on him.
You see the
probably needed to make a better decision on who he was going to throw to. I think he got excited there after he beat the double team.
Yeah, Negri, you know, freshman, but he's a big kid. He's
He
not,
is.
not afraid to lower his
I
head.
mean, first dodge of the game, he goes behind the back with a shot. So we're going to see a lot out of him, and we have.
Yeah, and he had a clear at the end of the. And there's a low to high rip from Ejak, but had a dodge where he just ran right through the attackman, broke his stick,
right
and was able to get that ball across, while also drawing a penalty for offsides. Like you said, a lot of young talent on display here today for both these teams.
Yeah, I think LMU's offense can hang with anyone out there. I mean, this is a strong. They have a number of guys that can attack the cage. Fast break here for Santa Barbara.
It's a body. Another one of those guys who's been a contributor for a couple of seasons. One of the 7 upperclassmen as he's trying to get that one out, but steps in the crease. But heads up play as he was the only one that looked like he saw that ball.
Good save by the LMU goalie.
Nemo the junior.
Nemo. Great positioning. I mean, that was a position to save. Took away the angle, and ends up, hitting him off the bounce.
Yeah, just over 50% on the season, 50.2 save percentage.
Great take. Great lefty dodge. Great overhand shot. Just the top right-hand corner. But once again, if you get it back, if he puts it right in the goalie stick, essentially I look at that as a turnover. He's picking his spots on the cage, and if he doesn't hit it, ball's on the end line, and they go again.
Ejek trying to get by his man. Santa Barbara defense losing their footing.
Does look a little slippery out there. Guys have been falling down. That's a great pickoff right there by
Logan Davis.
Logan Davis. Great heads-up play. See if he can clear it.
Get a little, looked like he had space in front of him. Tried to make a play, and another great man ball play by Santa Barbara. Got the over-the-head check, knocks that one out. Looks like it might go out on the far sideline.
Great hustle by the Gauchos to get it back. You look at the Gauchos, you're seeing, watching this game, is they do one or two things well, then all of a sudden a little slip up. If they could just clean it up a little bit, they're probably going to get more fast breaks like they had earlier. You can kind of see the LMU squad get a little tired out here. The offense isn't as fast as it was in the first quarter. Not taking anything away from LMU, playing a great game. But you kind of see, the fatigue is setting in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you see. It's like, we said this earlier, they only have 7 upperclassmen. These are basically all freshmen and sophomores.
Right.
Out on the field for Santa Barbara, and just finding their sea legs.
Future's bright. Future's definitely bright. They're making a case to make the SLC tournament, and this is their day. They got to step up and get the W.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough too. You come out the season, you lose 8 games in a row. I mean, to get these kids to show up and get ready for a game is really impressive. And there's a nice take inside. That one from Evan Wu, the sophomore. And again, another underclassman making an impact for Santa Barbara as he ties the game up.
Yeah, last time the Gauchos got a goal was Wu on a feed from behind. He looks comfortable back there. Once again, another young player, the sophomore, who going into this game didn't have any points. And he's got 2 today. Nice assists. Young players, these guys out here are dodging with their head up. They're seeing the field. They know where their teammates are supposed. Offenses, in my mind, are doing pretty well out here.
Yeah, and it looks like Coach Allen may have made an adjustment during the quarter break. As they've been having some success getting the clamp, but another ground ball victory for LMU.
Yeah, they're making it a 50-50 ground ball, and then you just got to go get it. Who wants it more? Who can anticipate where that ball's going to be? You got Herning down low. I kind of liked him in the first quarter. In between the lines, I just think he sees a vacuum there. Anytime the ball's on the ground, he's around it. So I would not be surprised to see him up on the wing, or maybe even taking the face-off here, later on in the game.
Nice handle to get the balls inside. Flag down, that one off the pipe. Unlucky break for LMU.
Yeah, Hughes is going to want that one back, but that's still a heads-up play by Hughes, coming to the ball, making the turn, taking the shot. They go man up here, so see if they can get one. I think you got to look at, Ejek is he's going to be a guy that's going to be aggressive. Negri's going to be aggressive. Hughes is going to be aggressive here. Probably look for one of those 3 guys to, get a shot. Marinelli, I believe 14, is also another guy who's already got 2 goals on the day. They got a good man-up unit here. Not going to be surprised if they get a good look at the cage.
Well, I mean, they don't have one shooter. I mean, sometimes you get in these. And there's a great wheel look as he comes around the outside. It looks like he had maybe another step upfield to improve his angle on that one, but opts for the quick stick and just not on the mark. But usually you have a pretty good idea of who the shooter's going to be, and you have a man up unit, and
sure.
Any one of these guys can hurt you. And that's going to bring Santa Barbara back to full strength as LMU gets 2 shots, but neither one of them on the cage.
Yeah, 30-second penalty. I think the Basili from LMU would probably like to take that first one back. Low to high. He was the one who got, Swarlow made a save on in the first quarter when he shot low. We'll see if he changes up his decision making when it comes to a shot in tight down the road here.
And Swerdlow on a rope right up the field. That's heads up play to Herning.
Risky pass back to him, but they lucked out there.
Herning with the shorty. And like you said, Herning doing it all out there on the field. So he'd been playing short stick in the man down defense.
He's definitely a guy that could do a bunch of things. Houseworth again with a lefty shot. It's probably his 4th or 5th shot of the day. He's got to start putting him on cage. I'm glad to see him shoot the ball overhand, and he did try to go offside.
Tilbury buys man, takes the shot, pulls that one a little bit, as it's going to stay with the Gauchos on the possession shot. Got 7.5 to go in this first half. See Santa Barbara bringing the ball in. And Tilbury does well to get in front of that one, see if he can come up with the ground ball. And Santa Barbara's been able to get it around.
Yeah, sorry, great offensive possession here. Sorry, Chris.
That's fine. Great minds, coach. And but yeah, Santa Barbara able to get the ball around twice. Nice extended possession. Already had 45 seconds on the offensive side of the field.
Here's Ferguson. Great defense.
And then takes the hit. Able to move it to McKay. McKay's going to bring it up and then find the shorty. Marinelli's going to bring it across. Again, just Houseworth, a pretty solid wrap check right on the shaft, but Marinelli too strong for it.
Aggressive dodge, great save by Swarlow.
It was Basili by 3 to get that shot off. But again, seen these guys that want to make an impact.
Yeah, Negri letting it go from about 17, not being shy, going low to high. I haven't seen many low shots this quarter. Looks like they're trying to go upstairs. There's a low one right there, right as I speak.
There's Basili again making a great play there.
He likes shooting low. That's his 3rd one that he likes shooting from his ankles. And I think the defense for Santa Barbara might have helped him out on that one. At least from our angle, it looked like Swarlow might have been screened there. But that was just a good catch and release shot. Got it off right away. And here he is. He's going to go take a face-off.
Well, and that's the thing. It's not even that his shot is all that hard. It's so quick, though. I mean, there's not even he doesn't take a cradle, he doesn't take a step. His feet are planted, catch and shoot. And I mean, in that close, it's so hard to make a reaction save there.
Yeah, he knew when he got that ball, he was letting it go.
And again, just a reminder as we go in for the face-off. But just a reminder that we'd love to hear from you. Send us tweets, comments, questions, anything you got to @CMarshallTLN. And reminder that you're watching the SLC Game of the Week, brought to you by TVX Video.
Griffin Liddon's been a force out there in between the lines for LMU. I've been giving Herning a lot of props here in this first half, but I think LMU's 29. Griffin Liddon has been doing a great job himself, just playing aggressive, just making sure that he's always involved in the ground ball. You can kind of see him over there on the sidelines, paying attention to what's going on.
Gonzalez with the one-handed power cradle there as he was able to split the attackman. Just under 5.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, Ejak dodges behind with a shorty. He likes that matchup. Here comes, dodges a slide and finds himself with a one-on-one. Nice patience, good composure there by Ejak. Kind of looked like he was like, where's the slide? Was surprised there wasn't a slide, kept going. That's a veteran for LMU that you can tell he's been there before. A fresh might have rushed that shot. I think you mentioned earlier in the game, there's a guy that rushed a shot a little early. But just great poise and composure there by Ejak.
Yeah, and we're gonna send it. Actually, waiting on this one, but we're gonna be able to hear the official on hear the official on the face-off as they set the players up and get them going. Is another rule change. Another rule change as the players now go down first before. It looks like LMU wanted the tip there and didn't get it, as that one's going to go going back Gaucho's way. One thing we saw in that last goal was Sam Holton overcommitting. And I think that that's what he got. He pushed up, he ran into his own guy, and then created a lane up there.
Yeah, you know, when you're sliding, you got to take the right approach. You know, and it looked like, you know, he was just going to go, and he wasn't going to beat Eject at the spot. But I thought Eject just made a great heads-up play and kind of saw it coming, and because it slid right to his face. You know, anytime you slide right to a guy's face, you see it coming, and they can make an adjustment, and Eject did that. Yeah, and make sure to send us your tweets, comments, questions. I know we got our Twitter handles up there at C Marshall TLN, and is it Coach Malone 45? Chris Malone.
Chris Malone
45.
Chris Malone 45.
So I always like watching, you know, Negri out here being 45. I'm all love for the 45s.
All love for the 45. Well, yeah, and another big game.
Undefeated, and the Terps have one loss on the season, so should be a great game down there in Santa Ana Stadium. If you don't have anything to do tonight, the game starts at 7. I would buy a ticket, find a seat, and watch some great college lacrosse. Some of the best college lacrosse that you're going to probably see.
Yeah, be sure to give Coach Malone a visit at the 3D tent.
Yeah, 3D lacrosse will be there.
There's Negri trying to get by. It's good help defense by Santa Barbara as they send 3 different defenders to cut off his run.
It's a great look by Negri again. Just dodge with his head up. I think the great thing that LMU does on their dodges, and I'm sure Coach Gavaz has been working on this with them, they dodge with their head up, so they see the slides coming. They have great IQ, so they know where their teammates are going to be. They look very, very confident down on this offensive end. This is another great take by Eject. You know, it's difficult for a defense when you have 6 guys out there that can all attack you. You know, unforced error there on the clear. Probably would love to have that one back.
Yeah, a lot of trust in Herning. Going to have to come with the over-the-shoulder catch with the pole on the run, and it was just a little bit outside, so he was unable to come up with it.
It's a tough pass to handle.
Yeah, it's especially under pressure.
Sure, going full speed ahead down the field, knowing that if you catch it, you might get a fast break out of it.
And the ball's gonna head out, no push on that one. And if you have any questions for the coaches, definitely send them our way, as we're going to have Under Armour sideline reporter Margot McCauley talking to them at the halftime break. And there's a low-to-low right off the pipe, but Santa Barbara looks like they're going to be able to run this one down.
Tilbury with a great ground ball there. Moves it over to Ferguson. I think they're just going to slow it down here, make sure they get their 6 players on the offensive end of the field and let everybody get a touch. Wu behind the cage again with a short stick. They have definitely had success here today. That's where 2 of their 4 goals have come from. There's another one. That's their third goal on the day from letting Wu dodge from behind the cage. And I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of that coming here in the 3rd and 4th quarter. And LMU's going to have to figure out something there, because Wu's got 2 goals on the day, and he's got an assist to go with it. And just aggressive. Just, you know, we talked about, I mentioned confidence. You know, it's amazing what a player can do with confidence. And he's been a confident dodger back there behind the cage. Gives Santa Barbara, I believe it's a tie game, 5-5 right now. Looks like about, you know, my eyes serve me here, about a minute to 23 to go.
Yeah, it's a big goal. It's like you were talking about earlier, winning the last 2 minutes of the quarter, and in this case the half. An opportunity for one of these teams, if they can score another clamp by Santa Barbara, looking to get the ground ball out and flips it towards Herning, which I think is probably best case, and that one dangerously close to a push. But Herning out getting the pressure on, and now going the other direction. Basili with a fast break opportunity for LMU. Takes the shot again, going for the low-to-low.
I mean, that's Marinelli, 14 for LMU, just making a great lift on Herney's backhand. You know, just because you're trailing a player to a ground ball, your opponent to the ground ball, doesn't mean that you can't get it. And Herning, you know, Herning's a great GB guy, and Marinelli knew he had to do something there to distract him from getting the GB, and turns into a fast break for LMU. Love to see Basili kind of take an overhand shot one of these days because he's just letting them fly from down low, and he's not getting them on cage. You know.
And there's Sam Holton getting another stick on the ball in the pass. Looks like Coach Gavazzi wants to talk it over with 31 seconds to go in the first half.
You know, I'm really impressed with Marinelli from LMU right now. He's all over the field. He's got a motor. He's just full speed ahead. It just does a lot of things, and is a smart player. And you know, I think Coach Gavazzi, I know he doesn't have a deep bench, but you know, if you know, my eyes are telling me there's a good group of guys out here that are playing hard, and same thing for Santa Barbara. I mean, this is just a back and forth game, and it's just a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to be a part of, and you know, we'll see what Coach Gavazzi can do here out of the timeout. Yeah,
and we're going to send it back down to Under Armour sideline reporter Margo McCauley.
All right, guys, only 30 seconds left in this game, and the coach on UCSB is telling his team that they need to make sure they do not give up any goals here. They fought their way back into this game, and it's important for them to go in this halftime with a momentum that they've been building up through this whole first half, excuse me. So let's see if they can finish off these last 30 seconds and keep it tight or be up one at the half.
Yeah, and that's important. I mean, again, back to the last 2 minutes of each quarter.
You know, Hughes gets one at the end of the first quarter with 10 seconds to go in the first quarter, and you know, right now Santa Barbara's winning this last 2 minutes because you know they get one from Wu, but I'm sure you know LMU's going to get a shot off here. Swarlow's got to be ready to make a save. Would not be surprised to see Santa Barbara in a different defensive set, maybe a zone, maybe shut some guys off, just to kind of change things up and really makes LMU think about you know what they're about to do.
Well, yeah, and I mean they've been switching between the zone and the man, and they're playing a high pressure zone, sending the guy down below with the players. But I mean they're doing such a good job switching, as you see Herning out there with the poke check, that I mean the zone has been really successful. And trying to do a little too much as Negri as he looks like he's trying to back down his defender and just comes out. And there's Herning all the way down the field. That one picked off, but that's going to do it for the first half. It's a great heads-up play by Herning, seeing that there was only 4 seconds left on the clock when he hurled that one down the field. But we're going to go into the half tied at 5.
Yeah, that was a great turn by I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name right, but Abadi. He just made a great turn. I thought I actually saw 2 Santa Barbara guys on the slide. You know, Negri's going there, extremely aggressive, knowing that there's not much time left. But, you know, Santa Barbara was not going to let them get a shot off from the crease area like they did in the first quarter.
Yeah, and we're going to send it out to Under Armour sideline reporter Margo McCauley with head coach Allen.
All right, Coach, there in that first half, you give up 2 early goals, but you fight back throughout the whole half. You're tied here at the half. How do you make sure that you guys come out strong in the second and prevent that from happening again?
I think it just comes down to ground balls. We really haven't had sustained possessions for a long period of time. We've scored when we've had chances, when we've taken good shots, but we're playing a little bit too much defense right now.
You've got a freshman in the goal. He's had some big saves today. How big has he been in the goal for you guys?
He's been great. He's been great all year. He makes some of the wow saves that you hope to have to not make, but he makes them anyway. And we just have to do a better job in front of him and let him see some better shots.
Now, every game of the season holds a lot of importance, but today, this SLC matchup, it holds a lot of weight. How important is it for you guys to get the win?
It's huge. The division is always our first goal. Our first goal of the season is always to win the SLC North and qualify for the SLC playoffs. So this is obviously the biggest game of the year right now.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Back to you, Chris.
And you see Coach Allen. I mean, he always says the right stuff.
He does. He's a smart coach. I mean, look, he's had a lot of success at Santa Barbara. He knows what the players need to do. It's just a matter if the players can do it. So I agree. I mean, he's talking about ground balls and, you know, in between the restraint lines, you got to get the ground balls. And then he wants his defense to step up and give Swarlow a better opportunity to make some saves. And, you know, he's not talking about his offense. He's talking about the defense. You know, I think the offense is getting shots. So I think he feels pretty comfortable there.
Yeah, we'll take the opportunity right before we go into break for halftime to read one of the tweets we got. John Becker tuning in from Boulder, Colorado, watching his brother Avi Becker. So I know he's excited. Got a good one, and then it's Moritz Linning watching the SLC game from Germany. Shout out to Mike and the Gauchos for letting me join the team last fall. So I know one of the things that's been really cool is there's been a lot of international players coming through. I know there's been players from Japan and everything playing, but we're going to take a break and we'll be back at the beginning of the second half.
Wants you to succeed. That's obvious as soon as you get here. The faculty, your peers, staff, everybody wants you to reach your full potential, and they really help you do that.
The professors at LMU are amazing, and I know that I'm coming away from LMU knowing so much more than I came here with.
Our professors know us well. They expect a lot, so they challenge us and encourage us. They taught me that you can't get the most interesting information unless you ask the hardest questions. I love that.
Here at LMU, you'll study with professors who are working on the fundamental questions and the cutting edge of their discipline.
At other universities, you have hundreds of kids in your class. It's so easy to get lost. Here at LMU, I only have 15 kids in my class. My teacher knows who I am, and it makes the learning experience so much better.
One of the things I enjoy about being here at LMU is that I can interact with my students and that they can interact with me, that as I become a better scholar, I can help them become better scholars and share the work together.
That's one of the really fun things about being a professor at LMU. I get to work closely with students individually and not just on a large lecture basis.
When the William H. Hannon Library opened last fall, LMU really made a statement to me. This beautiful building with all its resources was designed and built with only one thing in mind: to entice students to put serious academic work at the center of their experience here.
Beyond challenges inside the classroom, I also received several grants through LMU to pursue my studies during the summer, showing how LMU is not just a choice for 4 years, but it's a great choice for challenging yourself throughout your entire life.
I live on the ocean, and study breaks entail dolphins and whales. We have beautiful mountains you can go hiking in.
When I am stressed, looking at the beach really helps.
Santa Barbara is really beautiful. The weather never really changes. It's not too hot, but not too cold. It's just right.
It's great being in Santa Barbara. I love it more every year.
The way that you can tell that this isn't an ornithischian is because it has this extension of...
What characterizes UC Santa Barbara is a wonderful opportunity to study in a wide variety of disciplines.
I'm a biopsychology major.
And we'll split the optic chiasm.
We focus on learning about brains and the function of the brain in terms of psychology. I think it's really fascinating.
My major is mechanical engineering. It's been fun. The best part is the senior design project, which takes 3/4 long, and you go through the whole process of designing from stage one all the way up to manufacturing it, and hopefully coming out with a product that works.
I'm majoring in cultural anthropology with an emphasis in archaeology and art history. I was just fascinated by the past and history and how we can learn about people through looking at artifacts and material remains. When I'm illustrating, I'm recreating what these shirts would have looked like in their full forms, what the whole shape of it would have been like versus
the SLC Game of the Week, brought to you by TVX Video. We are out at LMU right now for the Gauchos versus the home Lions, and we're going to send it right out to Margot McCauley, who is with
Brian, short guy with a beard.
Yeah. Coach.
Yeah, you know, kind of. Okay, I didn't want to. Yeah,
that's so
that's
funny.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, they threw to us, and I guess we're here with it. Yeah. Okay, Coach. So in that first half, you get 2 early goals. You let the other team fight back to win. I heard you say to your team, we do not let them fight back into this game. Unfortunately, it happened. What adjustments do you make going forward to make sure that doesn't happen and you guys get the momentum back in the second?
I think we need to stop doing things like throwing balls out of bounds, and when we catch a ball in the crease, we need to put it in the back of the net. We can't turn and hit the goalie. We're doing a lot of things that are taking the momentum out of our own play, and I think we're kind of here watching Santa Barbara play lacrosse. We need to be excited when we do things. We need to get pumped when our goalie makes a save, and I think it's about momentum. If we
when we saw 2-0 in the first 3.5 minutes, but I think Coach Kavoston speaking to to the numbers that they have. You can see on the sideline, it's pretty slim.
Yeah, he wants more energy out of his guys when guys make a big play, but some guys might be thinking that, hey, I want to conserve my energy and use it on the field. But I think both coaches were right on. Got to limit the turnovers on LMU's side and got to finish some shots. Ejac had a nice finish there in the second quarter, and with great composure and poise. And if LMU's other offensive players could do the same thing, they're probably going to have more goals here in the second half. And on the Santa Barbara side, you got to get the ground balls, and the defense has got to give Swarlow a better opportunity to make some saves. But great ground ball right there for Santa Barbara. So Coach Allen's got to be happy with that. Just got to keep possession.
Yeah, and it just looked like he was trying to do too much there with that one. Had to fight through 3. I mean, you'd like to see one of the other Gaucho players get open and give him an opportunity to dish that ball.
Yeah, off-ball play. You got to come get it. That's what the attackmen are down there for, and keep the game simple. This does not need to be a complicated game. Keep it simple. But great cross-field pass there for LMU on the clear. Here's their first offensive possession here of the second half. And there's our man, Negri, just stepping up from about 17, 16 yards, pulling the trigger. He's got a great hard shot.
Yeah.
I love to get one on cage there. That's a great question mark shot by Phil Hughes. Going to the cage right away. This third quarter is looking just like the first quarter did. Negri in the first quarter had a behind the back shot within, probably 15, 20 seconds of that possession, and we are on the offensive end of the field for LMU. Pull on Negri. Here's aggressive take, and there's a goal.
And there's 2 quick ones again in the first minute 40 seconds. Two quick goals from LMU. And again, like you mentioned, you got to value the ball if you're Santa Barbara, because you win those faceoffs and you can't get any offensive possession.
Well, nothing to show for it, right? I mean, there's nothing to show. You win 2 faceoffs, which first 2 of the second half, but you got nothing to show for it. LMU, plays aggressive, which they've been doing all game, and that's worked out for them here early on in the third quarter.
Again, matches the largest lead of the day at 2 goals at 7-5, largest since they were up 2-0. In 13-11 to play in the third quarter. Now Basili able to come up with that one.
And, the difference here for LMU is, they get the face off, and Basili just looks really comfortable with the ball in his stick. Where I think the Santa Barbara guys are looking for someone else. Basili's like, I got it. I'm holding it. We'll get our guys on. We'll run our offense. Santa Barbara's like, all right, I got it. Who can I throw it to? So it's just maybe that's an experience thing. Basili's he's a sophomore, and, he's taken a lot of face-offs this year. So
yeah,
he looks pretty comfortable out there.
23 points coming into today, 18 goals.
And there's Herning with a great check and a ground ball.
And looking for somebody. It looked like he had some daylight there, as he nearly throws that one away.
That's a great handle.
But Santa Barbara finally able to get down onto the offensive side of the field as Abby Becker steps into the box.
Great handle by Sam Holton there on the pass from Herning.
But again, it looked like Herning had some daylight, but rolls back out and it works out for the Gauchos.
But that's, LMU's being aggressive. He's got 2 guys running him down, and he took the safe route, which was just go backwards with the ball. He could have pushed it, like you're saying, and he had the room. I don't know how much energy he has. He's been all over the field today, so he just said, hey, I better be, better safe than sorry here.
In Santa Barbara, holding the ball. And that one just over the top as Houseworth lets it rip.
You know, Houseworth, I don't know if he's right-handed or left-handed. He's had some lefty shots. Now he's getting some righty shots. I think the righty shot looked a little bit better than his lefty shot. So, and here he is with a right-handed feed. This is just an out-of-bounds play that Santa Barbara has been running for years. And it looked like the man was open, just had to get the ball in his stick there.
And just over 11 minutes to play as LMU brings the ball off the field. It's Nemo. Santa Barbara into a zone ride. Marinelli brings it across.
First midfield still out there for LMU. Same crew we've seen for essentially throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple of guys who've subbed in and out. I mean, you got Basili, who's taken a couple of runs in the midfield, but primarily serving as more of a Fogo, as well as playing on the man up. But and there's a nice look up top. There's the shot.
Nice
Swerdlow gets in front of that one. Santa Barbara able to get it across. Nice pick. Just didn't even get any contact there with the defensive player, but just making him think,
Sure.
shuffle his feet a little bit.
Sure. You know, Logan Davis with a nice clear there. You know, that's another freshman for Santa Barbara. Just running it out. Made it look pretty easy. Surprised Marinelli didn't try to go with a wrap check or some sort of check to dislodge the ball.
Ferguson having a big game so far. Has the shorty.
He's got a quick first step. That's a good look. Good patience. Good composure there by Houseworth not to take the shot without an angle. Finds Tilbury. You know he's going to the cage.
Tilbury by 2, and Nemo coming way out of his crease to get in front of that one.
That's a great outlet. Here we go. Oh,
gotta switch hands on that one. Get the stick in a place where you can make an opportunity. Looked like he was trying to catch that one down at the bottom there.
Yeah, it looked like he got a little jammed up. Phil Hughes with a great ground ball, though. I mean, just a heads-up play, knowing that his teammate might not have handled that pass as clean as he would have liked, so he was just there just in case the ball
And what a save by Swerdlow. Coming inside, takes a big hit. And again, these teams just wide open on the far side. There's the shot, buries it top shelf. Great composure from Sterling Hardy.
That was just both teams getting after it. That's a great heads-up play by Ejek. He picks it up and moves it right away. That's something that every young player out there has got to learn to do. You know, move the ball after you pick it up. And Sterling's in the right spot in a great passing lane, just finishes one to the far side, you know, high to high.
I mean, you get this 2 unsettled opportunities right there. The ball goes down twice, and then all of the Santa Barbara players run to that one, and they go in there, and then that opens that back door up. But great vision, as it looks like Holton being helped off the field now for Santa Barbara. That would be a big blow for the Gauchos.
Yeah, hopefully he's all right. He's getting some help walking off.
He towers over the rest of the players.
And he had a nice clear here. You know, he had a nice clear here in the third quarter.
Now just under 9 minutes to go. Make sure to send us your tweets, comments, questions. Want to know who you think the player of the game should be. At Margo McCauley, at C Marshall TLN, at Chris Malone 45. Definitely love to hear where you're watching, who you're watching, and what you think of the game so far. But LMU out to a 3-goal lead right now. Certainly not the way that Coach Allen wanted to start this half.
You know, this is just an aggressive LMU squad that has a number of guys on the offensive field that can make plays. And the more opportunities you give LMU, the longer your day is going to be on the defensive end. And that's kind of what's happening here in the third quarter. Another battle here for GB, and LMU's coming up with them. You know, if they don't come up the ground ball, they're riding it back. And they're just allowing these guys, you know, Hughes and Sterling and Ejak and, you know, Negri and Basili, and just a number of guys. The more times they have the ball in their stick, their confidence is just going to grow. Great defensive play there.
It's James Harrison. James Harrison has been playing just great.
He has. He has.
I mean, you look at those checks. I mean, they're just surgical. Comes in, goes over the top, catches it on the backside. I mean, fundamental, great footwork, excellent play.
And picks it up and wants to move it right away. And I think the officials made the right call there, at least from our angle. And you know, Santa Barbara's going to need a great possession here.
Slow it down a little bit. 7:45 to go in the third quarter. Down 3 goals. Obviously, this game far from over. Santa Barbara, a team that's struggled to score throughout the year, definitely need to settle in and get some good looks.
That needs to change right now. You know, a guy like Tilbury, Houseworth, who's gotten some shots. These guys got to bury one in the back of the net with good angled shots. You know, they're getting looks. They just got to cash them in.
And there's Wu. The guy we talked about, it's been Wu and Ferguson.
Yeah, LMU made the adjustment there. They're not going to put a short stick on Wu. Wu's gotten 3 points off the short stick. So they're going to make someone else from Santa Barbara beat them.
And then Nemo with another save. He's in really good position.
Yeah, it's a great position save. You know, and I think if you're Santa Barbara, you could do a little bit better than that. But that's just, you got to give Nemo credit. You know, he's in the right spot.
Housework trying to get across the field. Now Marinelli, you're going to have to get it in about 5 seconds. Marinelli does just that.
Better guard Negri. He's going to let it fly.
And both these teams opting to go into that zone defense.
Yep, Santa Barbara's definitely playing the zone, passing guys off, and there's an outside shot, which is exactly what you want in a zone defense. And Swarlow comes up with a save. Great ride by Ejek.
Ejek, big time hit.
He's an athlete. He's strong. He's fast. He anticipated the ball going there. I think Swarlow telegraphed that one a little bit, which made it a little bit easier on Ejek to step up the field and get the ball back for his squad.
Absolutely blew up a body. But, I mean, it's a good hit. I mean, led with his hands, hit a body in the chest. I mean, that's a textbook hit.
More times than not, a team's going to score off a great ride, and I think they would have gotten a shot right there. Vasily looks a little tired out there, and maybe that hurt his focus on that one. But once again, Ejek with a great look.
And there's Herning.
A nice backside look.
He's got a line as he gets it across.
I mean, if you're Herning, let's go, right? I mean, you're doing great in between the lines. Go make. There's a great look. Just a little bit off. Loose ball push. Yeah, I mean, going back to Herning, we're calling his name out a bunch, and love to see him take one coast to coast and bury a shot.
Well, that's the thing. We're talking about some of these guys who have played all game, and Herning, one of those guys. He plays short stick on man down. He's been playing LSM and close D all game. I mean, maybe he's starting to run out of gas here a little bit. Possibly coming in on 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Wu against a short stick. That's something they've been successful with in the first half, and loves to roll back and forth. And here he goes again. Nice save.
There's a good no call on the contact to the helmet there too. Just grazed it. There's Hughes by his man, Herning. And timeout for Coach Kaboston is it's pretty solid timing on that one.
Yeah, I think his guys, you can see them. They're walking off the field. They're not jogging off. You got Vasily walking. You got Negri walking. Guys are a little tired. Guys are a little tired right now. So Coach Gavazin knows he has to use his timeouts wisely. And he felt like this was the right time to use one. So he probably figures he'll use one in the third quarter. He'll use one in the fourth quarter. Fatigue is definitely going to be a factor for LMU.
Yeah, and we're going to send it back out to Under Armour sideline reporter Margo McCauley.
All right, guys, deja vu there to start off the second half. LMU gets some quick goals, and it's looking like they're running away with this game. But I've got a quick injury update. On the Santa Barbara side, we've got Sam Holton, number 10. He went down around the goal. He hurt his right calf. He said he got tagged in it, and he's not really sure what the diagnosis is right now, but he's got ice on it, and his return today is not probable. But I'll keep you updated as the game goes and keep an eye on him.
Thanks, Margo. And I mean, that's the thing. You get Charlie Horse. You take a shot to the calf. It doesn't feel good.
No, you definitely got to go take a couple minutes, a few minutes, whatever you need, and hopefully he can get back in.
Yeah. get out there, put some ice on it,
The thing
roll
is
it
that
out.
he's all right. You know, it's
Yeah.
nothing serious, and you know, there's a great chance he can get back in the game here and help, you know, the Gauchos get back into it. You know, we got this 3-goal advantage for LMU, so I'm sure Coach Allen would love to get him back in there as fast as possible.
Yeah, and again, 4:49 to go in this game, in this third quarter rather. But still plenty of time for the Gauchos to get back on the board. Unable to break the seal in this second half.
Great take by Wu. You know, in their last possession, great save by Nemo.
I think it's the thing, kind of riding the momentum of the goalies right now.
Yeah, you know, if Santa Barbara's going to come up with a W here, their defense is definitely going to have to step up. I mean, they got to stop these guys. You know, Swarlow's just seeing a lot of fire right now, and that's just mentally tough on a goalie. You know, Coach Allen mentioned it at halftime, and that's going to be the difference here. And they went to their zone, you know, which should hopefully help them out.
We've seen them, and it was the unsettled situations that LMU's been able to score in. Once they get into their settled offense, they've been having more trouble breaking the zone and getting good inside looks. So the defense is definitely working. Santa Barbara just needing to do a better job in the ground ball game.
In clearing game. Good long possession here for LMU. Once again, trying to figure things out about this Santa Barbara zone defense. You know, that I'll tell you right now, I've experienced it. And you know, last year in the semifinals of the conference tournament, we had 1 goal in the first half. So when these guys are on, it's on. It's a tough zone defense to break.
Well, and still, I mean, you see some of the zone defenses that don't have a lot of pressure, and they do a good job rotating and making sure that they're getting pressure on the ball and keeping their sticks up on the inside. I mean, they're doing everything right.
Yeah, all 6 guys are in sync. You know, you play a zone defense, all 6 guys have to be in sync, and that's where the anticipation comes in. And you got guys like Herning out there who's been around. You got Abedy who's on the ball right now, who's been around. So, you know, those guys have obviously been leaders out there for the Santa Barbara defense.
Yeah, and guys that played, you know, in the national semifinal last season. Right. I mean, you know, a team that
1-goal game, I believe.
Yeah, people were, you know, not thinking we're that caliber of team.
Sure.
And I mean, all you got to do is make the tournament. And
yeah, anything can happen. You know, anything can happen. No, I think Coach Allen did a phenomenal job with his team last year, and they should really be happy about how the 2014 season went.
And he has got just a laser.
He does have a shot. It's almost like, you know, take some off of it and put it in a good spot. You know, Swarlow's doing well, but I mean, you put it to his offside, I think you got a great chance of getting one. But he's young, you know. Negri's a freshman, and you know he'll learn that it's not always about the power and the velocity. You know, accuracy is a big part of it too.
Yeah, and he's a guy, you know, 14 points on the season coming into this one, and that one's a nice save again by Swerdlow. Again, position save as a body, able to keep that one in his stick and make some room. And that one's a tough ball inside. 3 white shirts there. I'd like to think maybe he goes to the guy over the top, and it costs him a goal. As Ejek, a lot of composure, takes down the center of the field, and able to just put that one right over the head of Swerdlow.
You know, here's the advantage that LMU has. They don't sub guys off the field. You know, so when we see like Tilbury who has a short stick on him or Wu who has a short stick on him, it's because they're not getting their LSM on. So what happens out here is that LMU's offense, all 6 guys stay, where Santa Barbara's running guys off, and you know. In that situation there, LMU actually had more guys on Santa Barbara's defensive end of the field, which allows them to be a little bit more aggressive. And they were aggressive there, which they've been the entire game. Nothing's changed, and they get an easy goal.
Yeah, that pushes the lead to 4 as the Gauchos unable to get anything going offensively so far in the second half.
Just too many failed clears. Too many. We got another man down here.
And it's going to be Bundegard. The freshman LSM is out on the faceoff.
Looks like he'll be all right.
Yeah. See what the call is here from the official. Looks like they're gonna reface. And 2:01 to go in the third. It's been all LMU leading this quarter 4-0.
Yeah, they're riding that momentum wave, you know, and you know, Coach Gavazza at halftime talked about energy, and he believes his guys are in good shape because they've been doing this all season long, and honestly, they haven't slowed down. So I agree with him 100%. His guys are in shape, they're playing aggressive, and they got a lot of energy out here, and they're making plays. They're just making more plays than Santa Barbara is, and another Basile with another face-off win.
Well, and that's what you're seeing from Basile. I mean, he's taken so many face-offs this season. He's over 130 on the year for LMU, and he's just coming up with the clutch plays. I mean, he's losing the clamp, so I mean the Gauchos have been able to make some adjustments to get a little bit better advantage, but he's still coming up with the ground balls. Comes in there, snatches that one right out of the air, gets the ball back on the offensive side of the field. You have to think the possession for LMU is, probably 60-70%.
Right now, no question about it. It's another low shot by Negri. Actually took some off of that shot, puts it in a good spot. Swarlow couldn't get to it, stick side low. Just a nice quick release, aggressive dodge, just a nice face dodge. Back to a righty shot, and so, I'm glad he took some off of it because he probably had 2 or 3 more goals today if he did that a little bit earlier. So it's nice that he's learning from previous plays. And that's what you got to do as a player. You learn from previous situations you were a part of.
Yeah, and it sort of seems like Swerdlow may have lost a little bit of his swagger. I mean, that's a save that we were seeing him make in the first half.
Look, goalies aren't running around the field too much, but when you see a lot of shots, it's mentally tiring. It's just shot after shot after shot. Whether you're making the save or not, it's just a lot. And for a guy that hasn't had a whole lot of experience, it can be hard on him.
Another face-off win for LMU. We are now right at the minute mark, 10-5, 5-0 run for LMU to start this second half.
Swarlow's seen 140 shots going into this game that were either on cage or he saved. So that's a lot. I mean, that's going close to like the 300 number, over the course of a season. There's just a lot of shots to see, and that's why Coach Allen talked about it at halftime. There's a great save, though. Way to respond. Great off-hip save.
You see Negri, and again, solid ride. As you see the officials stop it for an injury here with 28 seconds to go as Negri stayed down.
Well, you like to think that Coach Gavazin probably has either mentioned it to the guys during the game or mentioned it during the week that, hey, we can ride this team. We've better athletes. We're faster. We're stronger. Let's make these guys work to get the ball over the midfield. That's working out for him.
The fans showing some respect for Negri as he's able to get off the field under his own power. Looks like maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him. Got his hands over his head.
This is the third guy to go down here in probably the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you see that that's one of the risks of having guys that go, up and down the field and play the whole game.
He's been on attack. He's been at the midfield. He's been all over the place.
Swerdlow gonna bring it up himself.
That's a great easy clear right there. Swerdlow, way to be patient.
Kerr's got a line here, but you'd have to think that, although 10 seconds to go, they're gonna have to get a shut off pretty quickly.
Tilbury knows it, being a veteran, realizes the clock situation. Good take.
But
here's gonna be Santa Barbara's out of bounds play that they've been running earlier in the game. Great opportunity right there by Houseworth.
Yeah, with 3 seconds to play. I mean, it's amazing they were able to get that shot off. It's a great look.
It was, but good for them. Didn't have the ball much there on the offensive end of the field for Santa Barbara there in the third quarter.
I mean, I think that's definitely been the problem for Santa Barbara. I know that Coach Allen. Making sure that they had good offensive possessions and were able to make the most of those because they were doing well when they had the offensive possession. They just haven't been able to have any possession at all in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, possession's everything.
And we're going to send it out to Margot McCauley.
I could hear the coach say, guys, that was amazing, but we cannot do what we did in that first half. We cannot let them back into this game. He's really impressed with his defense. They did not give up a goal in that whole entire quarter, so he's going to look to keep that going in the third. On the UCSB side, we've got a shout out to our favorite ref, Juarez, right here. On the UCSB side, we've got a player down. He took a big hit right here off the face-off, and he's going to be okay. They're going to check him out before he gets back into this game. His name's Kyle Boondegard, so keep an eye out for him, number 28. If he comes back into this game, all is good. He looked good on the sideline, so just keep an eye out for him in the rest of this game.
Thanks, Margo. But again, more injury issues for the Gauchos. We've seen 2 guys go down in the last 5 or 6 minutes of that third quarter, and like we mentioned earlier, I mean, no fewer than 7 players out to start the game.
There's injuries. Injuries are going to happen, and that's why every player on every team always needs to be ready when their name gets called. I think when we did the Chapman game together, that there's some guys that went down, or a guy like Nicky Mullen who didn't even dress for that game, and might have been another guy for Chapman. I think both sides were missing some guys. You just always, every player out there, always be ready when your name is called. When you get that opportunity to step on the field, you got to be ready to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and we're gonna send it down in so you can hear the new face-off procedures. Head official Juarez.
All you 17, all you stop break. Here we go, Jack.
And you can hear some coaching, if you'll call it that, from the officials, making sure to get the face-off done in a way to prevent any sort of cheating, which has been the real knock.
Sure.
But anything you can do to get an advantage in the game.
You kind of feel bad for the face-off guys because the rules change so much. I'm hoping that this is a rule that just will stick for years and years and years and years, so these guys know what they can work on, in the off season. It's tough on them. You keep changing the rules up. It's tough on them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it seems to be sort of a move in the sport to eliminate some of the specialization.
Sure, but it's part of the game. It's like having a great punter or a great field goal kicker in football. And you don't eliminate the field goals. You don't take the punter off the field. It's part of the game, and I'm glad we've kept it. If they don't want it to be specialized, then don't let the face-off guy run off the field and sub out after he wins the face-off.
Negri again with the shot way outside, kind of low to low. He's in the 12 to 15 range. Been a lot of shots fired.
But he's back on. He went down in there in the third quarter, and he's back, and he hasn't missed a beat.
Ejek now up top. Nice pass off as Herning goes in. And that solid defense inside, able to prevent the pass from being completed. A nice easy clear for a change for the Gauchos. Herning with some space. And what a play coming through. Marinelli just runs in, able to hold on to that one. Just cuts right through 3 Gauchos, pick that ball off.
Yeah, I mean, Marinelli's been all over the field all day. Anticipated that the Gauchos might have mishandled a pass. That's probably the 3rd or 4th fast break today for the Gauchos that they cannot convert on. And when your offense isn't getting the ball much, those are situations that you have to convert on. Especially, 4th quarter and you're down 4. We'll see what happens here. Down 5.
Again, in the low to low, Swerdlow sees that one the whole way.
This zone defense has been working out. No question, it's been working out for Santa Barbara here. Swerdlow has made some great saves. And here's another fast break for Santa Barbara. 5 on 3, actually.
At Tilbury. And there's a great take. That one off the pipe. The 3rd pipe we've seen Santa Barbara hit in this second half. Just can't catch a break.
Can't catch a break. No, they're going to catch a break
here.
Maybe
They are.
Get a quick whistle.
As the Hathor's going to come in and get it, but that was a solid play. Again, you see Santa Barbara switching and unable to take advantage of that quick whistle.
Yeah, Fuchs with a great aggressive ride there. Just being all over the hands of the defender from LMU, and ball ends up going out of bounds for him. You like to think Santa Barbara's, you want them to get everyone get a touch here, but, you don't have a whole lot of time. It's the 4th quarter, so you got to go. So
yeah, you've
spin the ball around, and here we go.
Only been able to get 5 goals through the first 3 quarters and got shut out in the 3rd. I mean, you're going to have to start taking some shots.
Yeah, Ferguson there with a nice right-to-left split dodge that we saw in the 2nd quarter of the first half, and it looks like that's kind of his go-to because he's probably going to do it again here. Oh, it goes to his right this time.
But again, just kind of feeling out this defense. Tilbury with it now. He's got a line. He takes a shot, and that one just off the mark. Had that top corner picked out.
Just a little off there. Good aggressive dodge. not afraid to go after the long stick midi.
Solid defense from Gonzalez, not giving Houseworth anywhere to go. Houseworth trying to make the cross crease pass, but misses his man. That one's going to go back the other direction for LMU.
Get a good ride here. Houseworth, let's get back. You just turn it over, get the ball back. But the LMU defense did a good job by being on the hands of the Santa Barbara offensive players.
In Santa Barbara opting to drop back into that zone ride. Gonzalez is going to take it across himself.
Still pressure. Still pressure here. You're down 5. There you go.
Yeah, solid defensive play. You see that one now going back is Bundegaard, the player that Margot talked about, coming back onto the field after taking a knock right at the end of that quarter.
You got nothing to lose here if you're Santa Barbara and trying to be a little aggressive in the riding game. They're down 5. There's looks like about 11:40 to go in the game, so you might as well just pick it up a notch and try to make a play. Right now, I think if they can get one in, we might see a couple more come Santa Barbara's way, but they got to get that first one of this half. It's that momentum, it's that confidence factor that we talked about, right? Early on they looked like both teams had a lot of confidence. Right now it looks like LMU's the only team with confidence. So if they can get one to make that net move, I feel like you're going to probably see a couple more after that.
That would have been one to do it as Fuchs goes for the behind the back after a great handle inside, walks the tightrope, but unable to get that one going. They're hitting everything but the cage right now.
They're just missing. Tilbury just missed one. Fuchs just missed one.
It's a great save by Nemo.
Nemo with a great save. It's a good ride there by Santa Barbara. You got 3 guys chasing down 1. More times than not, the team with 3 guys to the 1 is going to get the ball back, and they did.
Kerr now. See the second line midfield.
Mariani there. Here's Ferguson working from it looks like they're going to invert him. They've had success with the invert. Good look right there.
And Fuchs just pulls it.
But they're getting looks. I think if you're Coach Allen, I would just continue to invert. The tough part with that, though, is that you have a midi behind the cage, so getting back in the hole could be a little difficult. You might need an attackman to help out there, but if you need goals right now, so you need to put your guys in the best offensive set they can be in, and this is it.
Fuchs able to handle that one. I think it might have been going to Kerr. And Kerr with it back up top. As defenseman as McKay takes that one right in the chest.
Move the ball here. I would get that ball behind the cage. Let these middies go after their short sticks.
So 8:39 to play.
Good possession, but once again, time is not necessarily on their side. They've had 5 goals and 3.5 quarters of this game. So, but that's a great aggressive dodge by Houseworth, but the sidearm shot that he hasn't really connected today with. So I'm surprised to see a sidearm shot. He had the steps. He went after his guy. I'd like to just say, hey, let's just get this on cage and see what we can do. Hopefully make that net move as I previously stated.
Kerr with a nice handle, but again, you get that higher, get that in the box, and he has an opportunity to take that shot. So it's near misses for Santa Barbara right now. It's a minor execution. That's a great save by Nemo.
Great save by Nemo. You couldn't ask for a better attempt from Santa Barbara, and Nemo read the whole way, was all over it. He's playing with a lot of confidence now, as he should. He's making a lot of saves.
Yeah, he goes across his body to make that save. From 6 or 8 yards out, and that's a real heads-up play.
No, that's the LMU's 3rd or 4th cross-field pass on a clear. These defenders have their eyes up. They know where their teammates are supposed to be, and allows them to make these passes, and it just makes it look so easy for the clearing side.
Again, you see, and Ejek was able to get in front of that one. It's one of those passes where they know the field is rough, and you can bounce one into him, so he has time to get his body in front of it. He's just so open. Just a shade over 7 minutes to play. Ejek with it up top. Now Hughes. Nice rollback by Hughes. Slide comes, loses footing. It's going to be a flag down. Big opportunity for LMU here.
And if you're LMU, there's no rush here. You're up 5. There's less than 7 minutes to go in the game. There's no shot clock. You don't need to take a quick shot. I mean, to be honest, I would hold on to it until the officials made you keep it in. Run the clock. The clock is your enemy right now. And it looks like that's what they're doing. And that's just a smart play. That's just smart.
And that one picked off by Swerdlow.
Spoke too soon.
So we are right at the 6:30 mark in the game. Still a 5-goal lead for 5-goal lead for LMU. Again, we're going to be getting another look at this LMU man-up offense. See that wheel going as you see Basili come around the corner. So they were going to a nice look inside. There's the behind the back. What a finish by Negri. And that was fantastic.
Wow. That's it. He does not play like a freshman. I mean, he looks like a veteran out there. He's been here for years. You know, that's just, he has great skills, great IQ, just a great knack for the ball. And, you know, there he is with a phenomenal shot.
Yeah, and that one just, I mean, no hesitation at all. Gets the ball inside, goes directly to the behind-the-back shot, finds the side netting just inside the cage, just inside the pipe there. And I mean, you couldn't have made a better shot there. No real shot for Swerdlow on that one.
You know, Negri hasn't hesitated all day. You know, he's played aggressive. He plays with a lot of confidence. You know, from the first whistle. You know, he had took that behind the back shot within the first 20, 25 seconds of the game.
Ball still down, still 6-zip LMU in this second half.
Another face-off win for LMU. You know, that 50-50 battle is going LMU's way. And if it goes Santa Barbara's way, unfortunately for them, they end up turning the ball over. You know, you don't have the possessions. It's tough to win. I mean, we saw Santa Barbara's, that last possession they had for about 2 minutes, maybe a little bit more, and they had some great looks at the cage. You know, that was the best possession they've had here in the second half. And there's a nice little head fake, little dip and dunk right there for Negri. You know, it's solid. Great heads-up look. One-on-one with the goalie. Tough position for Swerdlow to be in.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not a whole lot you're going to be able to do if you're Swerdlow in that situation.
And the body language right now for the Santa Barbara defense looks like they're shrugging their shoulders. They're a little down. You know, you got to finish this game strong. You know, you never know what can happen. Lacrosse is a fast sport. You can get a goal, win a face-off, get another one. So you got to play it out.
Again, you hear the official coming in, lining up the players, and getting them ready to take the face-off. Ball out again to LMU players there, as Basili comes up with it once again. Basili, the team leader in ground balls, for a reason.
He has had a phenomenal game.
Nice spin back by Hughes. Loses footing. Swerdlow out of his cage. Got to keep going as he's pushed down. Got a little action going on there between Swerdlow and Negri. Freshman talking it out. Hardy can start with it for LMU. Under 5 minutes to play now. Kerr playing way out on defense against Marinelli.
Smart play here by Marinelli to take it behind. Let's run the clock out. You know, we mentioned it earlier that the clock's the enemy right now for LMU.
And dropped into a man defense look as they're shutting off the adjacents. Vasily, another ground ball.
Another ground ball. I would love to know the number of GBs he has today.
He's got to be into double digits.
No, I was going to say 10 or 11.
That would put him near 50 on the season. Body bringing it up. Swerdlow, nice patience. Again, Kerr up top.
Santa Barbara's got to go here. They got to sub fast, and they got to go to the cage.
A 4:05 to play. Santa Barbara still taking a lot of time, and LMU looking like they're well on their way to getting off the schneid against these guys.
Yeah. I think you mentioned it earlier. This could be LMU's. You know, we don't want to speak too soon here, but it is looking pretty good. That LMU is going to get a W here for the first time. You know, they have the last 9 times these teams have met. Santa Barbara has won every one of them. Yeah. So this would be the first win for LMU in 10 tries.
Yeah, dating back to April of 2006.
Nemo with a great save. You know, it's just not going Santa Barbara's way. I mean, they get a pipe, 2 pipes, and then when they get the looks, Nemo's coming up with some phenomenal saves.
And again, it's just that confidence you're talking about. You know, it's like in the first half, Swerdlow's the one that had it, and there's great man ball. There's just 4 white shirts going to the ball, and nice heads-up play by the captain, Senior Hughes.
No question.
Yeah, I mean they're up 7.
No need to throw the ball down to Sterling or Ejak. You know, once again, they don't need goals. They need the clock to run out. You know, and you know, when you're a team that you don't have a lot of bodies, to walk away from a big win like this and not have any injuries is going to be big for them. But here's Negri. He doesn't know what it means to.
No filter.
Yeah, he's not afraid to shoot. He's not afraid to shoot, and he's feeling it. I mean, he's got the last 2 goals.
Backpedaling, little up.
He's got the last 2 goals for LMU, but I'm sure Coach Gavazin would love for him to hold on to that. But that is where maybe his, the freshman part of him comes into play here. Another fast break for Santa Barbara that they can't cash in on.
Evan Wood just off the mark. We're now at 2 minutes to play in this game.
Oh,
finally,
Houseworth
breaking the seal in the second half.
Great take.
At the 2 minute, 1 second mark.
Got nothing to lose, right? You got nothing to lose. Good overhand shot. Good left-handed dodge. We've seen him take left-handed shots, right-handed shots. You know, he's going to be a guy that we're going to be, watching here over his career, and going to have a lot of great things to say about him. I think if he could kind of take what he's learned here in the first half of this season and use it for the second half of the season, he's probably going to see some better results. He's a good player. I would love to see him play with a little bit more confidence and be a tad bit smarter when it comes to his shot selection.
And you get guys that are all freshmen and sophomores in Swerdlow and Houseworth and Ferguson and Wu. And those are guys that'll be around for the next 3 or 4 years, hopefully, for Coach Allen. And it's a solid core of players that's playing really well. I mean, even guys like Kerr, who played basically the whole game, who snatches that one out of the air, and the ball down. It's kicked through the restraining box. Looks like that one's going to go to LMU if it goes out of bounds.
Future's definitely bright for Santa Barbara, but you don't want to start talking about the future. They got to get to the conference playoffs. I mean, that's got to be Santa Barbara's goal. They got to get to the conference playoffs. This was an opportunity for them to get one step closer to that goal. But LMU is going to be the team that gets one step closer. So.
Yeah, but still a lot of big games for both these teams. Three more conference games for Santa Barbara. I mean, 2 of those games definitely winnable games. I think at Chapman is a tall order for this Gauchos team, especially given how well Chapman has been playing of late.
It's a great lift by Gonzalez there. But I'm with you. They're gonna have to figure a couple things out when they head back home to Santa Barbara, and and just come up with some really good game plans for the remainder of the season.
Nemo again. Nice high to low overhand shot from Kerr. I mean, it's exactly what you're looking for out of the sophomore curve. But Nemo just too much for the Gauchos right now.
He's reading the shooters extremely well. It'd be, maybe Santa Barbara shooters can hide their stick a little bit more. But, when Santa Barbara got the ball on offense, when they've had the ball on offense, they've had opportunities. And there's another one by Houseworth, and Nemo with another save. Nemo has to be in double digits in saves. I mean, I like to think that, especially in the second half, he's probably around 7 or 8 saves here in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, there's just been no room. Only 1 goal for Santa Barbara. They've taken quite a few shots. I mean, they've had a lot of near misses and 3 pipes, but
pipes are your friend.
Yeah,
pipes are your friend. And we're under, 5 seconds here, and Marinelli and Basili throwing the ball back to each other. I mean, those guys have been all over the field all day. So great win for LMU. A lot to be excited about here. And I think that energy that Coach Gavazin was looking for to start the second half, he got that. I don't know if they could have played a better half of lacrosse.
No, that was really, really solid work on both ends of the field. I mean, they were winning the ground ball game. They're winning the 50-50 balls. And Nemo came out and stood on his head.
Yeah, they're making saves. They're clearing the ball. They're taking good shots on the offensive end of the field. They're from end line to end line. It was pretty darn solid.
But definitely take the opportunity. Send us your player of the game. I know Margot's going to have a shirt for the player of the game and some interviews with Coach Gavazin as well. But take the time, send those tweets in at Margot McCauley, at CMarshallTLN, at Chris Malone 45. But I think both these teams have a bright future. I mean, it may not be this season for Santa Barbara, but LMU looking very sharp, especially in the second half.
Yeah, and Margot's got a tough decision here to make on who the player of the game is. I mean, it could be Nemo, it could be Negri, it could be, Basili at the face-off, it could be Ejak and Marinelli with the way that they play in between the lines and the things they do on the offensive and defensive end of the field. There's just a number of guys for LMU that stepped up today to get this win. I mean, this got to be one of the biggest wins in the history of LMU lacrosse. I mean, you went 0-9. The last 9 times these teams have met, Santa Barbara has won.
Yeah.
So this has got to be probably one of the top 5 wins for LMU over the last, I don't know how many years, but I mean, if I'm an LMU lacrosse player right now, if I'm an LMU alum, I am extremely excited about this win today.
Yeah, and I mean, they've got a tough road ahead. They've got Chapman at home next Saturday, and then they've got USC, who's been playing very well. Definitely an improvement of where they've been over the last few seasons. Then they've got some very winnable games against Montana, Utah Valley, and then this is where the playoff push really starts, where they're at UCLA and at Claremont to finish the season, and that's really where they need to go out and prove their worth in this league. Sure. and make a point for the playoffs, because if they win those games, they're definitely in.
Yeah, I think the key for them is to stay healthy. They're not deep, so as April approaches, as guys start getting a little sore. So Coach Gavazin and his staff's got to make sure these guys are healthy, and but they have a great team. I mean, I think they can. All those games are winnable, and you come up with a good game plan and you do the best that you can.
Yeah, and we're going to send it out to Under Armour sideline reporter Margot McCauley with Coach Gavazin.
Coach, congratulations. You get your first SLC win of the season. How huge was this for your team?
It was great. I mean, they've wanted to beat ever since I've been here, this is the game they've wanted to win. They finally got it. It was awesome. I'm pumped for them.
You guys only gave up 1 goal in that whole second half. How were you able to be so successful, and how impressed with your defense?
Very impressed. I think our goalie made some crucial saves. I think our D just didn't make any mistakes. They carried the ball upfield and they got rid of it. But I think the big thing was that we possessed the ball in offense. We took some long possessions and we didn't allow them to play offense. And best defense is a good offense, right?
Sounds good, Coach. Good luck. We'll see you the rest of the season down the road. All right, guys, I've got 2 players of the game. They're both freshmen, so that's oh, you're a junior? Why did they say freshman? Okay, so we got a junior and a freshman. He's our player of the game offensively. Alex Negri. He had 5 goals today. Freshmen, they're young, but you kind of proved them wrong today. How were you able to be so successful?
I think the
biggest thing was my teammates set me up. Once we started running our offense, we had a lot of good looks. We really kind of explored the zones in their zone and found some good holes. So it's all the team. So, I mean, some great passes help set it up, and it's a team victory.
All right, we've got a live broadcast. Anyone, family, friends, teammates you want to give a shout out to?
No one's really here.
Not even mom, dad back home?
Mom, Dad, back home. Thank you if you're watching.
All right, now I'm going to move on. We got Paul. He's the goalkeeper. He had 9 saves today. Coach gave him the player of the game defensively, so that's a big statement right there. How did you guys keep them from scoring so much in the second?
We just communicated on offense. That was our big thing going into this week. Just wanted to communicate. Just give me shots that I can see and I can save, and my defense did a great job doing that today. Made my job easy.
You got any shout outs you want to give? Family, friends, teammates who helped you out today?
Yeah, Mom, Dad, John, Darian, what's up, and all the boys back in San Diego.
We want to show our SLC shirt. This is what the players of the week, they get this shirt. So thanks for staying with us and giving us a little interview. Good luck the rest of the season. Back to you, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Margot. It's important to hear that kind of sentiment coming from a freshman who's a big contributor on your team. You know, team first, letting you know that he got there with the help of his teammates.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned it. It could have been a number of guys that could have been the player of the game. I mean, it was just a great team effort from start to finish, to be honest. I mean, I know, early on in the game, they get out early, they let Santa Barbara come back, but Santa Barbara was playing well. I mean, they deserve to be back in that game. But I think if you're Coach Gavazza, there's not an area that they really need to improve, like that's a weakness. It's just a matter of just getting better each time they come out to practice in each game that they have. So if I'm out on you, I'm having a lot of confidence here going into the next few games.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to need. Like I said, I mean, they've got Chapman coming here, which is big game, both nationally as well as in the picture for the playoffs. I mean, they're able to knock off Chapman. They're going to have a real legitimate shot at getting that #1 seed in the bye in the SLC tournament, which would be huge for them, not having to travel to Vegas or go up to Arizona. Yeah, and
the buys it allows guys to rest, and when you don't have many, when your bench isn't that deep, you got maybe 18 to 20 guys on the team here. You need rest. You need to rest. You need to stay healthy, and we mentioned that earlier. That's going to be, part of LMU's success is if they can keep guys, away from being out. Making sure every one of these guys dresses for the rest of their games.
Yeah, and that's going to be the most important part. I mean, they've got guys who can play. It's just a matter of keeping them on the field. I mean, they only got 5-6 deep on the sideline, and as long as they're healthy, they're a threat to everyone they play. But special thanks to TVX Video for producing the video today. It was an exciting broadcast. I know they're with us every week on the SLC Game of the Week, sponsored by TVX, as well as Mark McCauley on the sideline, our Under Armour sideline reporter. And thanks to you, Coach. It's always fun having you out here breaking down these games.
It's all smiles. We have a blast together. I enjoyed it and can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, and if you're watching and you're local, make sure to go out tonight and check out UNC versus Maryland. Big day for lacrosse in Southern California. Top 10 matchup. Coach Malone will be out there at the 3D tent, so stop by and say hello. Let him know what a good job he did here on the broadcast. And a special thanks to all of you at home. I mean, we wouldn't be able to bring these to you if you weren't watching and tweeting in and letting us know what you think. So be on the lookout for more great lacrosse action coming your way on the Southwestern Lacrosse channel on YouTube, and look up and check out some of the games that we've had over the course of the season. We've had some really good ones. We've got some good ones in the future coming your way. So definitely stay tuned for that. And until next time, as always, I'm Chris Marshall. Stay laxy.